Hello everyone, we are delighted to welcome you to the kickoff panel of Genopole Partnering Week. I'm Hélène.
And I am Laurence.
And we are going to be the host for this event today. Before beginning the panel, we have Olivier, the director of Genopole Entrepreneurship Department, who will say a few words about Genopole.
Hi everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Quick word about Genopole. Genopole has been the first French biocluster since 1998, dedicated to biotech innovation, from therapeutics first to now the emerging field of bioeconomy. So we at Genopole strongly believe one thing. We believe that biotech will be to the 21st century what oil and then digital have been to the 20th century, which means that we believe that biotech will be an engine for growth, an engine for progress, an engine for, you've guessed it, a better world. So it's not going to come from only the established players, right? We believe strongly that it's going to come from a brand new generation of relentless, highly skilled, passionate, and disruptive entrepreneurs. So that's what we do. That's the bet we are willing to take. We want to support entrepreneurship, biotech entrepreneurship at Genopole. So we are doing that through various programs, from pre-incubation to acceleration programs. But today is considered by us as both the logical conclusion and the climax of the kind of things we're doing at Genopole to support entrepreneurship. And of course, we're doing that for the benefit of our entrepreneurial ecosystems or investors and corporations, be it only to help them sourcing the new innovations. But we are mainly doing that for our entrepreneurs, for them to get real, to build meaningful interactions with these investor and corporation communities. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome you again to the 2022 edition of the Genopole Partnering Week. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Olivier. For today's panel, we choose to put the spotlight on the inspiring and extraordinary of the journey of Synhelix and see how timing of synergy is crucial for a startup. Synhelix, they went through all our incubation program. First, they participated to the Shaker, a 6-month bootcamp of science and business to transform your biotech project into a startup with an access to an equipped lab and our high-tech platforms. After the Shaker, they participated to the Booster program, now replaced by the GNIO. And it's a one-year program for startup with the objective of raising funds or signing a first commercial agreement. If you want to check the program, feel free to go to our website. So today we will highlight concrete advice to help you accelerate your startup very, very quickly.
And if you have any questions you want to ask our guest, feel free to save them for the Q&A session at the end. For people joining us online, you can send us your questions through the chat box. We will be able to read them right here. And for the people in the audience, feel free to raise your hand and wait for the microphone to come to you, and then ask the questions at the end. And now let's begin the panel with our three guests, Irina, José, and Alain. Thank you, the three of you, for coming. We can't wait to hear your testimony.
Yes, and for the beginning, Irina, I still remember like yesterday when you and Ahmed, your co-founder, came to present your project in front to the committee of experts. Can you go back to this time and can you tell us how it all started?
Sure.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. So really happy to be here to share our adventure, our story. So how it starts? So it starts in 2016. So where we first met with Ahmed. So very rapidly we came up with a shared passion for synthetic biology. So we found a real complementarity, I would say. In terms of personality, in terms of vision. And in 2018, so we decided to first participate in the session, section of the shaker.
The shaker?
Yeah. And actually, Alain was already in the jury of the selection committee.
Thank you, Irina.
So the story continued in 2019 when you needed to raise your first round. And that's when you approach Alain again. Alain, as a fund, you receive hundreds and hundreds of decks every year. So what struck you when you met Irina and Ahmed when they first came to see you? At that point, they were at very early stage. So why did you decide to take the risk with Synhelix?
Right. So first of all, in the phenotype of AdBio partners, we are an early stage fund, which means that we are investing in seed at the seed stage, and really the first round of financing. Yes. And we are also, let's say, a company builder fund. So what we like is to invest in projects where we believe we can bring also some operational support and help the founders in their development. And indeed, when I met with Irina and Ahmed, I found really that the entrepreneurship spirit of both of them was very important, and that there was a strong potential behind those two personalities. They were extremely complementary. Yes. And the DNA synthesis field was something we knew at AdBio, and we were aware of the potential and the important market needs. So all together, we found that this equation was very interesting, even if the company didn't have any patent at the time we invested in. But we thought really that this was a team we had to support and to help.
Thank you, Alain. Very clear. So, Irina, when you decided to incorporate the company after Shaker, you joined the Booster Acceleration Program at Genopole. What kind of support have you received at that time? And in addition to the private funding from AdBio, how was Synhelix financed?
Well, when we first then created the company, yes, I would say that the first support that we had came from Genopole through different ways. So first support in terms of entrepreneurship initiation and also training. That was very interesting, both for me and for Ahmed then. And through this program, what is interesting is that we had access to a laboratory, so to perform our proof of concept, but also to different training, and the networking also was very interesting and very helpful for us to continue our growth. And of course, during our journey, we also met different business partners, different consultants, so from the Genopole network. And in terms of funding, so of course we raised fund with Advent, so former Advent, but AdBio partners today, and it had a leverage effect in the different public funding. So we received some grants, so from Région Île-de-France. Yes. So, that was the first grant we obtained is innovantes leader PIA.
Yes, leader PIA.
And also PMUP COVID, so because we were in the core of our adventure, we also live the different difficulty that we have with the COVID-19, but we still had the opportunity to have some funding support, so public support. So very helpful for us to continue the growth.
Okay, good. Thank you, Irina. Just before to ask a question to Alain, Irina, maybe a quick word about Synhelix. Can you describe a little the activities, the aims of the company?
So Synhelix was founded to tackle the bottleneck of DNA supply.
Yeah.
So how we can tackle this bottleneck? For us, the mission that we try to figure out is really to couple the synthetic biology.
Yes.
So different bio-based sources like enzymes. Yes. With technology, and the goal for us was really to provide a solution for the different drug developer in different fields. So
yeah.
Gene therapy, in antibody development, vaccine development. So yeah, the core project of Synhelix was really to provide this solution.
Wow, impressive. Yeah. Thank you, Irina.
Yeah.
Now, Alain. I know how AdBio works. It's not limited to financing, we know very well. Can you tell us more about your role during this time?
Yes, indeed. So, as you know, Irina and Ahmed were a young entrepreneur.
Yeah.
This was their first venture.
Yeah.
And we had to establish some methodology in
yeah.
the way we were working together. So, you know, having board meetings, presenting the progress of the company, regular reporting, as well as actually identifying the important paths to success. So, indeed, our initial financing was helpful in leveraging some non-dilutive grants. And then there was, indeed, I was, you know, impressed by the quality of the management, the way it was organized.
Yeah.
And today we have 20 companies in our portfolio with young entrepreneurs, very often first-time entrepreneur. And I could really make, you know, the comparison with other companies. So, I mean, you know, very good execution in the development by Irina and Ahmed. And indeed, time came where there was also a need for another step in the development of the company. So there were several solutions. One was to raise more money. And indeed, the question was about, you know, what kind of assistance, support
yes.
we are able to provide by opening our network of other investors in Europe. And with the challenge that the company was still at a very early stage, and,
yes.
you know, that
the patent was not...
I mean, there were some patents, but filed, not delivered.
Yes,
and even if they had already very good technical demonstration, you know, a lot of investors are actually, they prefer to come at a later stage. So we had many meetings together with Irina. We repeated some of the presentation together.
The pitch, yes.
The pitch, and indeed, one other option we had to contemplate at that time was to introduce Synhelix to some potential industrial partners.
Okay, we will see, yes, after with
yes.
José. Huh?
And this was part of the added value that we wanted to bring as a shareholder, which was to say, right, let's open our own network and see if there are different options for the company, including R&D collaboration,
yes.
further collaboration to actually bring, you know, value to the project. So this is how we helped.
Yes.
Irina, and we made the initial introduction with José. I knew for already about 15 years. So this was, you know, the type of added value we brought as an early stage investor.
Lot of value, yes. Thank you, Alain. Very clear, huh? Not only money, so very important for the development of Synhelix. Irina, I wanted to know at this stage, for you and Synhelix, everything went very quickly. What advice can you give to entrepreneurs here during this seed phase?
Well, I would say that the first advice that I could give to a young entrepreneur as a founder of a technological startup, and if I look at myself and at our adventure with Hamed, I think that the word that comes very naturally is the trust. We need really to base the relationship on the trust, first with your partner. So as I already explained, so at the beginning of Synhelix, what we first did with Hamed is really to divide the roles. So for the technical role, the scientific vision, there was Hamed, and for let's say the development of the business,
everything else,
and everything else, because there is not only the business, there are also everything else. And I think that this was one of our strengths that I could testimony today. So yeah, the trust on your partner, on your different consultant also.
Yes, also.
As a small startup, we cannot have all the different role in the company. So, of course, for example, for the accounting, for the administrative affair, I had also to choose the right partner to help us, to accompany. So, for me, really, the trust.
Yes, the trust, very important.
Yeah.
And if you have to change something at the beginning, because you was only two, you and Hamed, do you need, I don't know, another co-founder, or I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that there was a time where I felt a bit uncomfortable in a business part where I tried to find if there was a good timing to have a third business associate. But maybe that would be this. But for our adventure up to date, I think that we did a great job.
Yes, the good team, because you are a scientist, Irina.
Yes,
the beginning.
I have a scientific background. Yeah.
Yes. And I remember you participate to the Booster Shaker and the Booster program, and also to HEC Challenge Plus. I remember.
Yes.
To help you to know better the business part.
With the program at Booster. So I really feel that I need to strengthen my knowledge in business, how to sell your technology also, not only in the scientific part, but really what is the added value of the technology, what it will bring to your future client. So how to sell this, that was very important.
It's essential, sure. Alain, I want to have your opinion. Do you think the team was good, or it is mandatory to have another business associate at the beginning? Because we saw it, Hélène.
No, I think it's the answer is clear. We invested in the project with Hamed and Irina, and we didn't ask for having a third partner.
Yes.
So I mean, we were really fine with the duo that we had in front of us. Indeed, Irina is a fast learner.
Yes,
and,
fast learner.
And she had to deal with corporate tasks such as handling board meetings, as well as presenting the company and so on, and then indeed starting to discuss with potential industrial partners. And we did also somehow some business development on behalf of Synhelix. So I would say that for me there was no mandatory to have a third box being ticked for let's say a business component. All the finance and accountability was covered by also a service provider.
Okay.
So let's say that overall, this was a perfect organization for a young company.
Great. Thank you, Alain. So if we follow the chronological order, around that time we are in 2020. So Irina, at that point, you have obtained a first scientific proof of concept with the team. Part of it is here today. So you also have secured an investor who is really involved with you in the adventure and the support of public funds. And so that is about the same times where you're going to meet a key player. So Alain has been teasing about it already, but that's when you met with José from Univercells. So José, can you tell us more about Univercells and tell us how you came to here and work with Synhelix, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So in very short, Univercells is what I used to call a bio-manufacturing technology company. That means that we develop processes and tools for others to use them to produce their biopharmaceutical products.
Okay.
So that's a company that we started up in 2013.
Okay.
That's actually the third company we found.
Okay.
So our very first company was started up in 2005, already in the same space.
Okay.
So our mission is always to redesign a process, the way people manufacture a vaccine, a gene vector, a viral vector, a stem cell, RNA, DNA. And so we reinvent the process. And so as you have now a new process, you need new reactors, new tools, to be operated, and a new machine.
Okay.
And so that's typically our business. So we don't really sell machines. We sell a new know-how to improve the way others manufacture their products. And indeed, in 2020, right after the coronavirus pandemic popped up, we thought that we might, we should invest, in new ways to produce RNA.
Yes.
And so we have been, looking at that space, and then in 21, we made the decision to massively invest.
Okay.
But in the course of 2020, I was looking at all the missing pieces I would need to provide an RNA manufacturing solution. And to produce RNA, the first piece you need is DNA.
Yes.
So I was looking for ways to produce DNA. And as Alain said, we know each other for some years.
Time.
Exactly. Yes. And so we used to have informal chats from time to time. And then Alain told me one day, I forgot exactly, in 2020, he tells me something like, no, I'm involved in Advent France. This will be transitioning. I have a great portfolio. And he was talking, and I was like, yeah. And I was on the internet site looking at, at all the companies in the portfolio. And then I told him, I'm sorry, what's that? Synhelix, what do they do?
What's that?
And so he told, that's a great company, blah, blah. And so we had that conversation. And then indeed, we had the first conversation, the three of us, Ahmed, who is here, Irina and I. And coming back to what Alain said, he said, okay, there is technology, there is ideas, and then there is people.
Yes.
And so I think that, the value of a great idea is zero.
Okay.
Because a great idea doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So for me, what really matters is who are you talking to and who do you want to partner with?
Yes.
And so here the great news is that we have the great idea and the great people.
And
so that's very
That's good.
Yeah.
And so, I told them and I told him, I knew we were working together after the first conversation.
Yes.
Yes.
I said, okay, it's with them.
It's crazy.
And then the technology might be great, not so great, blah, blah, blah. I don't care too much.
Yeah, that was too early to know.
Because
Right.
for me, what really is important is that they are flexible enough, agile enough to reinvent themselves.
Yes.
Because they are not in love with the technology. They are in love or even obsessed by what the impact of that technology will be on us, on people.
Yeah.
And so this is what drives them. And that's actually what drives us. And that's the reason why at the end, very rapidly we came to the conclusion that we were about to marry. So this is what we did.
Yes.
And I can tell you that, we live in a world that is evolving, fast and faster and faster.
Yes.
Yesterday, there was a seminar. We were all together, and we learned, I didn't know that before, that when the phone, the real phone, the landline was invented, it took 50 years to have 50 million users of phones, of telephones. when Angry Birds was launched, you know, that stupid game that everybody knows,
Yes.
it took actually 30 days to have 50 million users.
Wow.
So this is actually the world in which we live.
Yeah.
And so this is what I really like. And this is, you know, a message for everybody that is, you know, willing or, you know, that is dreaming that they would launch a new business, is actually make sure that what you do makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't be obsessed by what you do because you think it's probably great, but who cares? What really cares is the impact you will have on the society. So that's actually what convinced me to, you know, to move ahead with them.
Great.
And with him, actually.
And with Alain
Yeah, because he's still in the picture, yeah.
Yes.
Because actually, no, today, Alain is my investor.
Oh, okay.
Also, yes, it's
Absolutely.
the investor of Univercells.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we can say that it was a bit love at first sight for you. What about on your side, Irina? What did you think, and why? What make you work with? What make you decide to work with José at Univercells?
Yes, so as José said, every biological process starts with DNA. So the first evidence was that, okay, DNA was the missing piece in the puzzle of what Univercells and what José and his team wanted to develop and really to develop. And in the other side, so Synhelix, we really have this kind of ambition to really debottleneck the DNA supply. We discussed a lot with Serge, for example, from Genopole, who
Yes.
every time I discuss with him, he really told me, you know, one day a big pharma will buy your company because they need to have
this technology.
This technology. They need to have access directly to DNA. And I think that after our first discussion, I look at the website of Univercells, so with the message biological for us. So this vision, this mission to really give access to the biological for all
everyone,
and globally, I think that really makes sense for us. When I told this with Ahmed, there was really, it comes like an evidence.
Yes.
So, and when we discussed, that was really obvious that, okay, we want to work in a very a dynamic environment. We want to make science and to bring impact, to have an impact on the in the world.
Yes.
And I think that's what was really convincing
On your part?
on my part was the complementarity that we could find. We wanted to have this freedom to really develop our mind, our inspiration in science, and with Univercells that have already demonstrated their ability and their expertise in bioprocess reinventing, in platform development. I really found that the complementary was there, and that was the right timing.
It was the right timing and the right partner for you to move forward.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Irina.
At this stage, Irina, what was the support, operational support given by Quantoom and Univercells? Because you was a small team and...
so in terms of support, you
operational, human resource, or I don't know.
Okay. Yes, so by integrating Univercells, so as an affiliate, we benefit from a Univercells business partner then, who take all the accountability for the structuration of the company. So that really let us to focus on what really matters.
On the science.
On the science and on the development of the platform and of the project.
Yes. Very clear, Irina. José, I have another question for you because we have a startup here. And what advice can you give to startups when they meet corporations what is the good way to present? Can you give advice?
Or things to avoid. Or things to avoid to say.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I would say that there is the most fundamental thing is be honest.
Okay.
Yes.
Don't try to oversell. Because in front of you there is people that will identify that immediately.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when I was saying be honest, what I mean is be honest in what you want to be as a person. And this is something, again, coming back to my first call, this is something I identified immediately.
Ah, yes.
Because I asked them the question, it's difficult. What do you want to be? Because I don't know. I mean, do you want to be the CEO of a brilliant company? Do you want to travel everywhere to sell your technologies? Do you want to set up a sales organization? Actually, what do you want?
What do you want?
And actually, what they told me, I want to continue to do what I'm doing, which is actually development and research.
Okay.
Say, okay. But because actually, if you lie or if you say things that you think the other party want to hear, at the end you enter into a very, difficult, toxic situation, which can only fail. So for me, that's the most important thing: is be honest. What do you want to be? What do you want to do? And then where are you? So they were at a proof of concept stage.
Yes.
Yes.
And actually, what they didn't know, because at the time they didn't know me. For me, that's enough. I don't need more.
You don't know.
No, they know it. Because, I'm also not optimistic, but I'm a very positive person.
Yes.
So I used to say, if it works once, it should work.
Yes.
Other organizations would tell you it worked once. Can you show me that this is reliable,
repeatable,
consistent, scalable? I told them, I don't care. We will do it together.
Okay.
But actually, if you lie, if you don't say the truth, and you oversell, then a year later, they will tell you, but what's that? So this is not what you sold me. So always be extremely, transparent, honest in what you want to be, what you want to do, and where you are.
Okay.
Alain, what do you think? For an investor, is the same?
Yeah, I think we see very often projects being totally oversold to us, or people are really trying to explain things that are not validated yet, have not been demonstrated yet, so. Indeed, it's always very difficult to understand, what is true and what is not.
Yes.
So this is why we are doing due diligence, and you were mentioning the number of projects we receive every year. So it's about 400 projects every year.
Yeah,
that's
a lot.
To decide on the best of the best.
Yeah.
So I mean, indeed, the behavior, the personality of the founders are extremely important, and the way we communicate and the trust, the confidence we are building together. And then if we decide to invest, we embark in the same boat for the best and the worst. And this, this is life. And we are here to support, even in case of negative results and difficult time. And this is how you judge your partner.
Great. Thank you a lot for your advice. So if we continue, we are now in December 2021. Quantoom, subsidiary of Univercells, announced the acquisition of Synhelix. José, can you explain us what are the next big challenges for Quantoom?
How many hours do I have?
And how many time? 5 minutes? It's okay, 3 minutes.
5 minutes is fine.
I'm joking.
So, yes.
No, actually, we are today, and you mentioned. So today we work together in a company called Quantoom Biosciences.
Yes.
This is a subsidiary of Univercells. So today we are very lucky. After Hugh, so my partner and I started up Univercells, so 9 years ago, is that though we are actually a startup company into a larger company, which means that today we have we are served, if I may say, as if I was in a multinational company. So I have a legal department, I have a regulatory affairs department, I have actually a business and corporate development, so I'm supported. And so this is something that helps us a lot. That being said, today from the market validation perspective, there is many things to do. So we need to finalize the developments that are ongoing, and now we need to materialize the first commercial validation. So this is an extremely exciting phase. And this is probably the most dangerous, if I may say, of the cycle of a company, because that's actually, when the Brits, when they say the proof is in the pudding. So now that's the proof in the pudding. So is there someone that is ready to pay for my stuff?
Yeah.
Yes.
So if they pay for it, it's probably good. And so this is the phase we are in which we are today, and now we need to build up the complete organization. And so now these guys here are actually already, but they will now, consolidate an R&D department.
Okay.
They will also have a service department here in Évry.
Yes.
Okay.
So hopefully there will be plenty of customers in the next couple of years here. So we want now to grow this site, to look at research, on the long term, from a long-term perspective. But also, I told them I don't want you to be a cost center. Because if you only spend money, someday someone will say, okay, why do I pay you? So I want you to make money as well. And so there will be both, research and services, to attract customers interested in our technologies. And then what our plan now is to build up the complete supply chain. So, acquisition of all the components, production of the equipment, production of all the reagents, commercialization. We need now to build up, field engineering, application support, technical sales, a sales department. We want to establish our company in Boston or Philadelphia, in Singapore. Nice. We need to support the first sales in Senegal, Tunisia, South Africa, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Brazil, and Argentina. These are the first sales. So all that needs now to be materialized in the coming 6 months to build up, actually, to complete all the organization with manufacturing, supply chain, and sales.
Okay. Wow, lot of
so that's
challenges.
Very cool.
Huh?
That's very, very cool.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Very great story. Maybe, Hélène, we have a few minutes left before opening Q&A.
Yeah, we have a few minutes.
Just maybe to conclude, Alain, I would like to ask you, what do you think of the development? José said a little about it, but what do you think of the development of Quantoom in France and at Évry?
Right. So I think, I'm very optimistic and positive for the future.
Yeah.
No doubt. I mean, when we invested in Synhelix, there were 2. Now there are 21. So I think it's quite a substantial development over 2 years. I mean, for us as a fund operating out of France, it's important to create value here in France, to promote research, French patents and French innovation. And now they are part of a European leader, which is Univercells Quantoom. And I think it's a great achievement. And we are really proud to have contributed to the development of a great company.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Alain. Irina, for you, 2 questions before to take question. Can you, Alain said, but can you tell us more about your position today in Quantoom?
Yeah.
And on your team also, if you want to describe.
Since the acquisition of Synhelix by Univercells, so we are now working under the umbrella of Quantoom Biosciences.
Yes.
And, I am leading the Quantoom Research Center, so based in France. So one of my mission is really to set up our R&D capabilities.
Okay.
So in terms of expertise, in terms of also equipment, in terms of and now we really have to build some kind of workflow to offer a research solution to our future partner. And of course, we still have some ongoing development project that we are working on with also our colleague in Belgium.
Okay, yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Irina. Just a quick conclusion. For 4 years, we have seen the evolution of Ahmed and Irina. It's a great story, a great project, a great team, and now a great company. They hit the milestone very quickly. The partners arrived at the right time. The incubators, the investors, the industrial partner. Their success is based on a complementary, agile, smart team that had been able to adapt. And it's a quality that is not so common among entrepreneurs. You were able to listen and to get the best advice. But all this should not hide your hard work, as well as the huge risk taken at each stage, and also the passion that drive the two of you every day.
And I will add on that it was a pleasure for the whole Genopole team to support both of you at the beginning and now the whole team. So we're still very happy to be able to keep working with you, even though now it's slightly different. Now, for example, you can join us, like Ahmed joined us last time for a selection committee, and sometimes you can also mentor our future young projects. So we are very looking forward to continuing working with you in the upcoming year and to see your future development. So now we are ready to open the Q&A session. I don't know if there's a question first here in the audience, or we can actually look online. Laurence, if you want to start with a question.
Yes, no, for the moment, no question here. Bon, we can begin, Hélène, with this. So the first, where is, okay. José or Irina, can you tell us more about the type of partnership that had been set up between Univercells and Synhelix? Is it co-development, investment? Well, we saw the acquisition, but can you tell a little more? Like you want. José, Irina?
Je commence?
Allez, begin.
Yeah, but so actually what was obvious to us is that there were two types of complementarities. Yes. One is that what these guys started developing is basically one of the pieces of my puzzle, if I can say.
Yes.
For me to provide RNA, I need to develop a process and I need reagents. And one of the reagents basically is DNA. So it was actually a wagon of the train. So that's the first, obvious thing. And that's the first, the reason why I was interested at the beginning. But then obviously it's really, really more than that. Because today, Univercells is in Belgium. Belgium is very close. But actually, 350 kilometers is a lot. You cannot just go to the corridor and talk to people.
Yes.
So we need to manage that. And so for that reason, the decision we both made is to have a balanced leadership team between Belgium and France. So that means that Irina is, of course, still leading the site and the activities in Évry, but at the same time, she's the boss of a big portion of the team in Belgium.
Okay.
And then vice versa, there is activities in Belgium for which some of the colleagues in Évry are part of those teams.
Okay.
And so that's always difficult because distance is there. It's a fact.
Yes.
But then there are basically two ways to do things, the good and the bad one. So the bad one, what I wanted to avoid is actually two groups that, meet, twice per year and have a drink. So it's a difficulty, but at the same time, I think that it will create lots of synergies.
Wow, sure. Great. Irina, you want to add something?
No, I think that you have perfectly summarized
very well. Yes.
Another question. So, Irina, as a startup, did you require any outside help to be coach during maybe the negotiation or the signature of the partnership? Like, working before the acquisition?
Yeah, one of the support that we had, so in addition to the great support and the close partnership that we had with Alain, I would say that there was from the legal part to help us to understand the different terms of the document that we had to sign, and what would be the future partnership that we'll have with Univercells and Quantoom.
Okay, so mostly legal. Yeah.
Yeah, let me remember, but yeah, I think that that was the most important.
Yeah, of course, the legal is always the most important. Do you want to ask another question?
Yes, we have another question, maybe for Alain or José. Do you know? No. How do you know if there a strategic fit with a fund or with an industrial? How do you know if there is a strategy?
How do you know if there is?
How do you know? Sorry.
No, I think that it's easy, if I may say.
Yes.
I mean, it's coming back to what I said initially, is be honest when you you lead a startup. If you are honest and you really say, again, who are you? Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? And where you are? Then actually, it's the answer can be quite obvious. Depending on the stage of development, you will need already or not an industrial partner. If you are at the very, very beginning of your development, a couple of proof of concept and commercialization is 5 years ahead. Do you need an industrial? No. What do you need? Money, actually. So in this case, it was as you said in the introduction, it was the right time, the right people. Okay, that's serendipity. Just because I don't listen when he talks and I go to the internet site.
Small things like that, yeah.
But actually, I think it's very easy to identify that during a conversation. You see, how far are you from the market? If you are 5 years behind, you don't need the industrial partner. You need venture capital, you need seed capital, you need early investors.
Yes.
And so, it's quite a robust, well-known process. Yeah.
Alain, do you want to add something?
No, I think it's well summarized.
Okay, no, good. So, in the room, do you have questions? Uda, Bernice?
I think they're a bit shy.
Yes, we have microphone.
Yeah, you can ask the question in French if you want.
Yes, and Hélène, you can translate.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no, just not in Flemish.
Yeah.
Yes. Bon, we can have questions here, but think about it. Think. Hélène, what we have here?
Yeah, so we have a question for Irina.
Yes.
So we can kind of say that starting your partnership with Univercells and becoming Quantoom is kind of a turning point. Around that time, did you hesitate or did you have any doubt? Or was it clear?
In my memories, I don't think that I had any doubt. Okay. For me, that was really a great opportunity to develop more rapidly.
The technology.
So the technology. So for me, that was a turning point because I felt the really need to have a kind of structuration of the development of our technology, also of the company, and for me that was really the right timing. So
yes,
I don't remember that I had any doubt.
Okay, no, that's good.
But you changed your vision because at the beginning you wanted to develop Synhelix and your company.
Yeah. So. I think that the entrepreneurship spirit was in my body since the beginning of the history. But after what we
went through,
and what we see during our different the steps that we had, I really came up with at a certain point where I felt that there was the time to have a kind of partnership, a kind of help to help me also to have another vision, another step to the industrial environment.
Okay, that's good to know. I think someone is signaling me that it's time for us to stop.
It's okay.
Already. So yeah, I think we are done with the Q&A. For the people in the audience, as you were shy to ask questions, you can still talk to our guest during our little networking afterwards. So at that time, no more cameras, so you can speak.
Yes, sure.
So for the conclusion, Laurent?
Yes, for the conclusion, we want to thank you all for participating in this panel. Thank you, José Alain, for taking the time to share with us your story. Thank you, Irina, because also today it's a special day, I think. It's your first day, so
happy birthday
to Irina. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving us valuable advice on your collaboration. Thank you to all the startups here who are joining us on the Genopole site, and to all the online participants also, Hélène.
Yes.
Just to say, the whole Genopole team is here to help you to achieve your first fundraiser or to sign a first contract with a large group. And feel free to contact us if you want to participate in our next package.
Okay. And as I said at the beginning, the partnering is already open, so there has already been over 100 meetings planned over the last 2 days. So we still have 3 days left. So you can head over our B2Match platform and request meeting up until Friday. We have over 200 attendees online, so we can expect many more meetings to come. So, and as this is the last live event of the week, we would like to thank everyone who has been involved in making this possible. So happy partnering to everyone, and see you next year. Bye-bye.
Thank you. See you. Bye-bye. Thank you.